Types of digital content is either going to be written, it's going to be photos, videos, or live videos. So you want to think about these 4 categories and how you can create content for all 4. Okay? So you could write a post, and you can write like a long post, tell like a short story, maybe 200 words, something like that, right? You could take a photo, right, and then explain a little, say a few words, right? You could make a video like what we did. We got a tripod, put the camera on there, and did a quick thing with the prize wheel. It took like 1 minute, right? Live videos, when you're going to an event, you could live stream it. We're live streaming this right now on Facebook, right? If you want to do a thing at home, a lot of people are just doing like a selfie live video and just start taking questions from people. Right? Live videos right now on Facebook are very much trending. Anytime there's a new feature on Facebook, you want to utilize it. Facebook will give it a lot of exposure organically. Right? So think about these 3 categories. What can you do with written, photos, videos, and live videos? All right? Those are the 4 categories. So how do you create content that people actually want? Chris Hadfield is a Canadian astronaut. He spent 6 months in space. And while he was in space, he was using social media quite a bit. And my first reaction was, I had no idea who Chris Hadfield was when they called me. Right, and so, this is the day that he's landing back on Earth, and they said, will you come on global TV and talk about his use of social media? So I said, I was nervous because I didn't know who he was, and I didn't want to tell her I didn't know who he was. So I said, I have to go and ask my PR team, right? And I don't have a PR team. So I phoned my friend, and she studied PR, and I said, hey, I got this opportunity. I don't know who this guy is. Should I do it, or is this just a bad idea? I'm going to embarrass myself. And she's like, no. She's like, you've got like 3 hours. You should go and study it. It's a great opportunity. Go and try to figure out as much as you can and do it. I'm like, okay, great. So I said yes. I called him back. I said yes. I went to a Starbucks, put my headphones on, and studied his use of social media. It was great because just a few months prior to that, I did a presentation. It was called Secrets of a Social Media Campaign, where I diagnosed some of the most successful social media campaigns that were out there. And one of the trends that I saw was something called the reality show method. Okay, I named it, I made it up. But basically that's what he was doing. He was creating a reality show out of his social media presence, but it went viral because it was exceptionally interesting because he was in space, right? And if you look at, pretty much all celebrities, honestly, every celebrity, anyone you could think of, they're all using this method of basically creating a show around their life, right? And this can be done through written text. It can be done through photos. It can be done through videos, and now through live videos as well, all right? So there's some rules to this. So the first thing is that you don't want to ever complain, you don't ever want to criticize, and you don't ever want to judge. You want to keep your show positive and cool. Right? You want to tell stories, you always want to add value, and you always want to go out and do cool stuff so you can talk about it. There's an ROI to everything cool that you do, right? You can go take a trip to Disneyland or go to Vegas, take some photos, tell people about it. They're going to think you're so much more cooler because you're at Disneyland. Right? You can go, one of my realizations with this whole thing was, I was at a small meetup many years ago, and some people were talking about how some people will, just go on the grouse grind just so they can get to the top and then brag about it on Facebook. And a group of people were talking about how that was a negative thing. And I said, that's great, that's awesome, you should embrace it. Go out and do cool things so that we can go on Facebook and brag about it. If you're hiking a mountain, that's awesome, right? So I started embracing it, and I started going out, and sometimes I'd be tired, I don't feel like doing things, and then I'll be like, you know what, I'll go, because then I'll go get a photo, and then I'll freaking brag about it and go back to bed, So it's true. I know it sounds silly, but it absolutely is true, and it does work. So the more cool stuff that you go out and do, the better. So I have some examples for you. So over here, this is me going on global TV. This is my first time getting my makeup done. All right. Over here is me drinking a coconut. All right. I went to a Thai restaurant. Right. I was out of the house. It was cool. Right. Over here, look at that. I climbed a mountain. Right. That was awesome. Right. Over here, I was biking. This is a true story. I was biking. I was moving on a bike, and a bird pooed on my back. right? And so then like I felt it, I was like, oh, and I touched it, I was like, ew. And so then I went to a restaurant to go clean it off, and I took this photo, and it was bird poo. So I thought that was actually quite amazing. Over here, this is my bamboo tree. I had it for several years. It's now it's no longer with us anymore, but I had it for several years. And every once in a while, it would start dying or whatever, and then I would clean it up. And so one day, I cleaned out the whole bowl and whatever, and I was like, look at me, I'm an artist, Over here, I went snowshoeing, which I don't recommend. All right. Over here, I went skydiving in Australia. Don't recommend it. All right, and over here, this here is Rob. He's bench pressing Tyrone. I put that one just for you. So exceptionally more interesting than all the others. All right. So I also now started doing these documentary videos. We're actually filming one earlier today. We're doing a little documentary about this event right now, what's happening. So this was a documentary video, kind of like a day in the life of a social media director. It looks like I'm always busy like that, but that day we planned a whole bunch of stuff because we were planning to also film at the same time. So everyone's like, man, you're so busy. I'm like, yeah, I know. It's crazy. Business is booming. Over here is I was on a show here. I was on the You and I talk show, and what I did is I took the video of it and I used a software called Wirecast. Anyone familiar with Wirecast? People. So Wirecast allows you to broadcast on video, Facebook Live, a pre-recorded video. So I had this video and I had it for a few days prior to it actually airing on Shaw TV, and I wasn't allowed to publish it until after it was aired on Shaw TV. So then it was actually the day after my birthday, I then broadcasted it as if it was happening live on Facebook versus just uploading the video. It was a 30-minute video, right? And a lot of people ended up actually watching it and engaging with it. Anyone see it? Don't want to talk about it? A few people, right? People watch it, right? So it was a 30-minute video. So if I would have just uploaded a 30-minute video, I don't think a lot of people would have watched it. But because it was broadcasting live for 30 minutes on the news feed, anyone who I had affinity with on Facebook, which is probably a lot, was going to see that at the top of their news feed for 30 minutes. Right now, we're broadcasting right now this entire event on Facebook. And I'll be broadcasting on the news feed for the next 3 hours that people will be watching this as well, right? So also we did a whole bunch of new testimonial videos. So on the same day we filmed this, we filmed a whole bunch of new testimonial videos, and we're now using those testimonial videos as part of the content that we're producing for our new Facebook page. And we already know we get 1 cent engagements with these videos, which is great. And you don't have to, do a lot of cool stuff in order to make this work. The mundane things work just as well. Like as I showed you before, I was drinking a coconut. There was nothing really that special about it. You could be eating the best chicken burger of your life, and we could be talking about that, right? And so Seinfeld, anyone fans of Seinfeld? Yeah, a few people, right? It was a show about nothing, right? So it's like your reality show could be about nothing, as long as it's semi-entertaining, and you got something to say to add value, right? You don't want to make it boring, right? So just think about it that way. It's like the stuff that you're doing, you think that it's not interesting, but it is. Right? You think that nobody cares, but they do, right? It's why reality shows become so popular. Like, why are reality shows even popular at all, right? They're just regular people doing silly things, and why is Kim Kardashian famous, right? Like, honestly, right? So, they're just a family that's on camera. They got a lot of reach. People saw them many times. Now they're famous, right? So that's how all people get famous online. It's just by putting themselves out there.